So this episode is going to be a little bit different. Instead of doing a typical guest interview like we do, we brought on Carlton, as always, and Derek, my business partner, Derek Rogers, and we did a draft. And so I explained the rules of the draft during the episode. It's a completely different episode, but I think it'll be fun. We wanted to do something different for Thanksgiving and just wanted to give you that heads up. All right, let's get into it. Carlton, welcome back. How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling okay. I'm a little nervous, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm
for
I
good
get a
reason.
little shaky around these type of things.
Yeah, I didn't explain yet to the audience what's going on, but we are having we're playing a game, a different game than normal, and so we need to bring in the big guns. Derek's here.
That's right.
Derek's here as well. What's going on, Derek?
I'm here, man. It's good to be here.
This is exciting. We've never had the trio on a show before. So the reason Derek's here and Carlton, as always, is we are doing a draft. Okay, so some of you have probably heard these on podcasts that you like. We're going to be drafting, and to be honest, this started as like, oh, let's do a Thanksgiving episode. This was my idea. It was a bad idea. I was like, let's all say what we're thankful for. Classic, just dad move.
And just the problem was I had nothing to be thankful for.
Yeah.
So I was like, we can't do that.
Carlton just threw that in my face.
Thankful.
So we didn't do that, and then we kind of evolved, and somehow it turned into this. So what we're going to do is we're going to draft an advisory board for a hypothetical company that we are starting, specifically a professional sports organization. Is that right, guys?
That's right.
Sure. Yeah.
And so we're going to be drafting an advisory board, and the stipulation is the first 4 board seats have to be filled by podcast hosts, essentially, or media personalities, like people who have podcasts, for lack of a better word. And the last 3 board seats need to be filled by characters in our favorite holiday movies. We're using holiday because not because we hate Christmas, but because there's some debate as to what a holiday movie actually is. So we'll get into all of that. I'll explain the rules in the details to start us off, and then we can get into it. So it's a snake draft, meaning Derek is going to be our first pick due to his seniority and age. And then we've got Carlton.
Oh man.
Adam,
and it's just his pure strength.
And his strength.
If we didn't let him go first, he'd just
beat us
up.
And then we'll cycle back through, starting with me, go back to Carlton, back to Derek. So snake draft, as I said, we're drafting an advisory board. The twist being it's a professional sports team. That has no real significance. We just like sports, with the exception of Carlton. The first 4 picks.
Talk for yourself. Talk for yourself.
The first
I was like
a snake.
A snake? What's a snake draft?
Have to be media personalities, like I said. The last 3 have to be holiday movies. And when you make a pick, give the name, explain their show or the movie, and why you're drafting them. I think that's all of it. Is that good? Everybody feel comfortable?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's go.
All right. This was, I was nervous last night. I was texting Derek trying to get some insight into where he was going with the number 1 pick. I wasn't as worried. Carlton, I feel like you listen to a whole other world of podcasts than what I do. So I wasn't as competitive with you, but,
and just let's set the record straight. I'm a little bit of the underdog here because Adam and Derek are just way more competitive than I am when it comes to anything related to sports or
how are we going to decide who wins, by the way?
It's going to be a vote
I think we should let
from the people.
Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, we can do that. Just
let the people vote.
Let the audience vote. Maybe we'll so this will come out. This is going to be the day before Thanksgiving. So maybe we can I can put up a poll on Twitter, or we'll figure something out. We'll make it clear how people should vote for the winner. But yeah, I would say the sports thing does put you a little bit at a disadvantage, Carlton, but maybe not. Like some of the Michael Rubin, who, that was the one other thing I should have said as a rule. You can't name non-media, just business titans. So like Steve Jobs is off. Well, they have to be alive as well. So Steve Jobs is out. Elon's out.
They have to be alive? When did that come into the conversation?
I think they have to be alive to be
for business people.
Yeah. Not the holiday people.
Yeah, not the okay.
Okay.
And then you need to think about, like, Oh, so Michael Rubin would be another example who is not, you couldn't draft.
He'd be out.
Right. But
Okay.
but Michael Rubin, Carlton, is like you, really wasn't into sports, and now he owns the Sixers and also Fanatics. So who knows? Who knows who could put this thing?
Data.
It's about who can make the board that works together, chemistry, We'll see what happens. All right. I don't think we have anything else to happy Thanksgiving. If we don't say that at some point today, I think that's about it. Let me give us a quick Derek, get your pick queued up here for the first pick.
I'm ready.
Sound effects.
All right. First pick in the
huge shock coming from me. Number 1 overall pick, Michael Saylor, serial podcast guest, predictor of the mobile wave, implementer of the Bitcoin standard, all around genius level stuff with this guy. Number 1 overall pick. He'd help you build an incredible organization and convert the balance sheet to the Bitcoin standard. It would be a good way to start.
Bullish. Okay.
Michael Saylor coming in.
We are very surprised.
Serial podcast guest. He doesn't have his own podcast, but I think,
right.
I think he's in the clear.
Okay. So for the uninitiated, who is he, in 15 seconds? Like, he's a podcast guest.
He's the CEO of MicroStrategy, big Bitcoin guy. He about a year ago converted his balance sheet to the Bitcoin standard, made billions of dollars in the process. He just understands the future. As I mentioned, the predictor of the mobile wave, which was well before the whole Bitcoin process started. But he just understands technology, and I think it's going to be super important in the future of sports franchise.
And where would people listen to him if they wanted to?
Basically, any Bitcoin related podcast. He's been a guest on just about all of them. So
Hope.com.
He was on Pomp. Yeah, Hope.com. Yeah, you could see all his content at Hope.com.
Cool.
So that's pretty exciting, right?
Let's
kick it off.
We weren't gonna let you choose that, but then we figured, he's been on enough podcasts that you could put them all together and he'd have his own podcast.
That was basically like as much of a secret as like when LeBron got drafted first overall. It didn't matter. We kept changing the category. Like, oh, should it be our business? Should it be a sports business? And like, we all knew Derek was still taking.
Yeah, I love Saylor.
Yep.
He's my guy.
Solid number 1 overall pick. All right, Carlton.
Okay, so this is hard. I went back and forth on a few different people, but I think because of just his general knowledge and understanding of the world, I'm going to go with Naval Ravikant. So he is co-founder, CEO of AngelList for a while, big investor. Had some good early picks with Uber, Twitter, things like that as an investor. And he's just a smart dude. He just is interested in understanding the world. Right now, I think he's still doing his Naval podcast, but it's a little bit slower than usual. He's just like philosophizing about like space-time continuum and stuff. So he's good. I think if he was on the board, he'd have a good insights.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I had him on my list as well.
The problem
that was the one where I thought if I took him early, I might knock off.
You'd have to translate his proverbs into something like, how do we sell tickets to Naval? And he'd be like,
yeah,
life is void of hope. And you're like, what?
I think where Naval comes in over the next couple of decades in sports is, Web3, NFTs, esports, all that kind of stuff. Naval's like, he gets that, man.
Yeah, he does.
I think that's a great pick.
That is a good pick. All right, so those are.
I've got to reorganize my board now.
Based on that,
it's getting tough, boys.
The whole team behind Derek or in front of Derek is just going to work now, trying to.
Big Bitcoin guy too, Naval.
He is. He's a believer.
We should say Derek also has a competitive advantage in that he deals with like boards in his governments. Me and you, Carlton, are sort of shooting from the hip here.
Yeah, we're just common plebeians.
Yeah,
and
we're just
Derek's just. He's used to
rallying
with the
votes
1%.
and stuff. Like he's got that.
It's tough, boys.
All right, for my number 1 pick, those are both good ones. I am going to go with David Sachs of the All In podcast. One of the co-hosts on it. I did this for a number of reasons. First of all, let's just be honest, deep pockets. I want to outbid everyone for great players. I want to be able to hire the deepest, the best coaches. And Sachs has a lot of money. He's also super well connected. He's part of the PayPal mafia. So if we need anything done, legal or illegal, in order to get a competitive advantage, I feel like he's got a guy. And I generally agree with his economic outlook. He's also bullish when it comes to the different crypto assets and things like this. I think he has a little bit. He's not like Sailor where he's just BTC bull. He has a little bit more interest in some of the Web3 stuff as well. And although I don't understand or really believe any of that, I feel like it is relevant specifically to sports. So you can make some culture stuff there. So yep, Sachs is my number one pick. And any reaction?
Great pick.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was on my list too. Sachs.
Oh, really?
What a guy. Yeah, absolutely.
So does that mean
my board is just getting wrecked right now?
Is that the All In podcast?
You guys snuck into my office and looked at my sheet.
What, Carlton?
Does that mean that All In is off the table, or can we still cherry pick from the other guests and the other hosts?
I think you can cherry pick, right?
Yeah, it's the people.
Okay, we're going people, not shows.
Are you really going to pick one of those other guys?
One of the lesser hosts?
We'll see.
That's crazy.
We'll see. Good thing I go before you.
All right, this next one, man, this is really hard.
Back-to-back picks.
I know.
It's tough, pressure. Man.
You guys are jerks. All right. I'm gonna get hate for this one, but I'm gonna go with it anyways. I'm gonna go JJ Redick, host of The Old Man and the Three.
Wow. I like this pick.
Okay, so Noseball. I'm assuming this is a basketball organization that we're buying. Just
it don't matter.
Yeah,
he knows sports.
But he knows sports, right? Super media savvy. Started a media company before he even retired, and has already seen, like, he's got shows with Duncan Robinson. He's got tons of athletes, so he can talk to the athlete. And I think he would help with player recruitment. If we're in the mix and somebody else is in the mix, having JJ talk to them as a player to player, and then knowing in the back, Big Daddy Sachs has got the bag of money to hand to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
Something there.
I like JJ. Good pick, man. That's a stout team developing there.
That's right. All right, Carlton, back to you.
Here we go. So I was thinking what I've got kind of like two lists. One list that's like my primary picks, and then list of like, if they don't pick this person, I'm going to pick them so that knocks them off their game. So I'm going to go with Sam Parr from My First Million. So he's a strong copywriter. I think if you got Naval, who's like super philosophical, you've got Sam to kind of balance him out. That's by true. Just, going, he just wants to see the facts and he just wants to try stuff. And he's a fitness influencer now. So I think the fact that he kind of brings that younger perspective, a little bit more bullish on his opinions too. So I think that's going to be my
you would instantly have like the best hot dog vending at your stadium because of Sam. He could bring that component into it.
Yeah, he's scrappy. I feel like Sam brings the scrap.
Yeah. I like that pick. Also, we should say host of, did you already say that? My First Million podcast?
Yeah, host of My First Million. So he there's two hosts on there. And I went back and forth between which one to pick because they're both good. But I feel like he's just got a little bit more of an edge when it comes to being scrappy.
Shout out Ricochet shot there at Sean Puri, who Carlton did not choose, is on my board at some point. So we'll see what ends up happening.
Big fitness guy too, Sam.
Fitness influencer.
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
he is.
I've been watching.
I wasn't going to choose him, and then this morning I was on Instagram, and he had a clip of him doing a backflip, and I'm like, okay, this guy can do a backflip.
He's an animal.
Questionable criteria for your board, but he is an animal.
I'm just trying to throw Carlton off.
I would say also we should mention Sam. We have an open standing challenge to Sam and Sean for them to bring their Mormon buddy and compete against the three of us in a 3-on-3 matchup.
Oops.
Yeah. So far, Sam has liked the tweet and engaged with it, but has been a coward otherwise in terms of actually acting on it. So we'll see. Maybe this will.
Yeah, maybe because he's on my board now, he'll acquiesce.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, good picks, Big D.
Okay, I've got the next
You
two,
got
right?
two. Yeah, this is
Yeah, y'all are in
this is
big
crucial
trouble
for you. You
Okay,
got to
big
make
trouble.
these picks.
Y'all made very, very big mistakes. All right, so this one I might get dinged on this. My second pick is another serial guest. If you have a problem with it, feel free to file an appeal with Tony Correnti. He does not have his own show, but once you hear him, you'll find yourself looking for his next episode. Balaji Srinivasan.
Okay, I took him off my list because I thought he didn't meet the criteria.
Well,
so.
that's your fault.
That's
He did meet the criteria.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Carlton's criteria was, can they do a backflip, and Balaji?
Yeah.
He's been a guest on many shows. Tim Ferriss, most recently Antonio Garcia Martinez pull request. Shout out to David Sachs. Colin, it's a good platform.
Oh, he was on the Colin. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on Colin. I think somewhat like Sailor, Balaji is basically a prophet when it comes to the future of technology. We're already on the Bitcoin standard with Sailor, but I think Web3, NFTs, esports, analytics, that type of thing, similar to what kind of Carlton selected with Naval. Huge for a sports franchise over the next decade. So he'll help keep us in the forefront.
So this is interesting because you're essentially picking two prophets from the tech bro, the tech bro Illuminati here. I'm interested to see where the next pick goes because there's a lot of theory happening, but I don't know who's gonna. I mean, you will. I don't know who's gonna enact these theories on behalf of the board in terms of the team.
Yeah, well, I think at the end of the day, obviously, I think it's a given that we're involved too, right?
Yeah, you're one of the. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Oh, in that case.
Yeah. So that's all taken care of.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's a good pick.
Okay, my next pick. We had to get away from philosophy a little bit, and this is probably going to be a shock. Actually, it probably won't be a shock. My next pick, David Portnoy.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Sports media mogul, philanthropist, three-time bee sting survivor. Guy has a rabid fan base, impeccable taste in pizza. He raised over $41 million during the pandemic and plowed it into small business. Guys, just an all-around good guy, one of the good guys, and
quality, upstanding character,
and
never been canceled.
100% upstanding character, and sports media. I mean, that's a kind of a big deal. You put Dave Portnoy and his mind together with Balaji and Sailor. Y'all are in trouble.
Yeah, I had him on and off at different times. If Dave was a part of an ownership group or advisory board for a sports team, I mean, I don't know, that immediately becomes a national, like they have a fan base across the country. I think
exactly.
I think that would be a huge benefit to having him. I wonder though how he would interact with. I mean, I think they'd agree on a lot, but you know how Dave is. He's gonna push Balaji and Sailor, and he's gonna call Sailor like a bad name at some point, and then make content about it.
Yeah, you got two egos right there.
Well, that's my job.
That's your job.
I can handle this.
That's true.
Derek's the peacemaker.
We'll keep the team together.
That's good. All right, I like that. That begins to get tough. I was skeptical of the philosophy start, but that brings it in a little bit. All right, those are your first three. Carlton, back to you.
You got some decisions to make because that was where I was going to go, just to throw you guys off the game. Yeah, I was going to go Portnoy.
Oh man!
Wow. Even though
that would have been a massive pick for you.
Yeah, that's what I was going back and forth between. What's his name and Portnoy.
So wait, Carlton, who do you have so far? Sorry.
So I've got Naval, my first pick, and then Sam.
Okay. All right.
And so now for my third pick, I'm going to go a little bit out on the edges right here, and I'm going to leave my strategy of screwing you guys up, and I'm going to go with Stephen Dubner from the Freakonomics podcast.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's actually like super into data. He does a great job. He's had several sports owners on the podcast. He's just a curious mind and very into data and studying what actually works. So he's published a book, Freakonomics, that was pretty successful, and then he's got the Freakonomics podcast. But he's able to just figure out what is the economic engine behind pretty much anything. So
Cool.
he's my next pick.
Yeah, I like that pick.
What was this nerd that you just picked's name?
Sorry, Steven.
Wait.
Forgive Adam. He doesn't understand. Steven Dubner.
Okay, Steven.
From Freakonomics.
Cool.
His co-host, which is also a Steven, is really good too, but I figured I was pretty safe. You guys weren't going to pick them.
Yeah, you could pick that whole cast probably.
Yeah, you're good.
and you'd be good. No, that's a good pick. Also bringing in the economic stuff. You guys could do some math. Try to, you're so far. So you have Naval, Sam, and Dubner. I'm worried about in-game experience when it comes to Carlton's team. Sounds like kind of a boring in-game experience, but that's
hey, you gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for those Christmas characters.
Okay, all right, that's true. We have the holiday characters coming. All right, I've got Sax and JJ. Going with my third and fourth picks, right? Oh, this sucks.
That's right. This is to round out the business side.
Right. Okay, oh man, this is tough. I'm gonna go. All right. The honest truth is, if we were actually doing this, if I had, this is where I got deep into it last night. But if I had personal relationships with people, I would use those first because they know me, I know them. Like that's just how,
I know where this is going.
That's just how the world works. And
I actually think this is a great pick, though.
This was actually my what I was struggling with last round.
Yeah, that would have changed my board as well. But I am going to go with Gary V with my third pick here. I think he rounds out kind of the in between of Sax and JJ. He's got the media, attention that Dave has, with maybe a little bit less of the controversy around it.
Big sports guy too.
Yeah, I mean, huge.
Yeah, I like it.
I
think he would have been. It was if you guys had taken Portnoy off the list. I was gonna.
They're gonna play a similar role. On the board.
I think I was going there. Yeah. Either him or Clay Travis, one of the two.
Yeah. And then I would say the other thing he has is, again, with the NFT stuff that I don't want to deal with, and e-com in general. He's going to bring a lot of that in, playing cards, all that stuff. All right. So that then changes. That just I wasn't sure if I was going to do that. That changes. This is so hard. Does anybody want to, talk about anything else real quick while I'm looking at this?
Yeah, I think Gary V. I think that's a huge pick. The guy,
he could do the fashion element. He could do the drinks, the
merchandising.
Merchandising.
The guy gets
That's true. Merchandise. Like we would instantly have both our current apparel and somehow vintage apparel with him. Even from day one. I think he would be a good pick. All right, I'm pulling from. This is going to be. Some are going to accuse this of being a Carlton pick, meaning lame, but I think it actually is
easy now
because of the construction of my board. Okay, you got to keep that in mind here. So I'm going to go with. See, this already is impacting my holiday pick, so I'm just trying to. I'm going to go with Cody Sanchez, who is. Host of the Contrarian Thinking. Actually, her podcast is called, I think, The Struggle is Not Real or something like that. But Contrarian Thinking is her platform. And the reason I'm going to go with her specifically is two things. Real estate is her bag. She runs a real estate fund. So I think that would help with building a stadium, interacting with the city, etc. And then the second part is, although I should be able to play this role, I can't. She's trilingual, and Spanish is her second language. And I think that's just super helpful. I think we'd be able to bring it. We would become the sports team that the Latinos across the country would magnetize towards because we put her out front. So, that's my my fourth pick. Lesser known, but I think she'd come in handy.
So here's a question. What if we do someone who's a character in a holiday movie and a podcast? person. Is that bonus? Does that get us bonus points?
Interesting.
No.
Absolutely not. Okay, good to know.
Absolutely not.
So okay, this next
Appeal
one.
denied.
I feel like biology is okay. Man.
You can do it
Decision-making,
still.
decision-making.
Yeah, you
You
can
just don't
do
get
it.
bonus
I
points.
would say you have to.
Oh, I'll do it next round.
You have to pick
I
the
was just-
character, or like you have to explain if it's the character or the host.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that next round.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
do that next round. I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna go big with this one, pun intended. I'm gonna go with Shaq.
Oh,
So he's actually a podcaster. He does the Big Podcast. He's a big businessman.
wait.
and
I
he,
didn't even know he has a podcast. What is his
Yeah.
show?
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Big Podcast.
Oh.
Surprisingly.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
he's
a good pick, Carlton.
big
That-
sports guy. He's got
Super smart too. I mean,
big
Shaq,
business savvy.
Guy's an animal. I love Shaq.
Hashtag diversity.
That is a really good pick. I'm surprised at how good that pick is after you pick Stephen Duckworth or whatever that guy's name was.
Hey, Stephen Dubner and Angela Duckworth are friends, and so she that was actually one I was considering, but I figured that was a little out there.
No, that's good. I like that. Shaquille.
Yeah, that's a great pick. So is that rounded out? Is that the
That
end of
rounds
the
it out,
business?
man, for my business peeps.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed one. Derek, yours was Sailor, Balaji, Dave.
No, this is my pick. I
Okay,
think
Yeah,
I'm
he's
up,
got the
right?
last
This
one.
will round-
The
okay,
first
yes.
and last.
So I go I go last pick of business and first pick of Christmas, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Back to back. All right, so my fourth pick for business, I'm gonna go food service. I'm going Bobby Flay. Always Hungry podcast on iHeartRadio.
Whoa.
Guy kicks out successful restaurants like a monster. You need somebody that understands food service, and somebody who's a media mogul himself.
Yep.
Bobby Flay.
That's a
my fourth.
great pick. I never would have thought of that. Food service.
Food service big,
Also, Bobby's
especially in the future.
probably, is he like the most successful chef ever? I mean,
I'd say so. I mean, I thought about going with the mayor of Flavortown, Guy Fieri, but he doesn't technically have a podcast, and then I'd be really on the edge here
Right.
with my board.
none
Okay.
of Derek's people have.
I love Guy Fieri. I think the energy that Guy would bring, but he doesn't. I mean, he's been on a lot of podcasts, but I could not find one.
He did. Good thought.
Bobby though, he's an animal. The guy gets it with food service, and I think especially the future of sports. The experience, the kind of entertainment experience is so big.
Yeah.
So, Bobby Flay.
Good one. And then your holiday pick. First holiday pick.
Okay. Holiday pick. Ooh. This is tough, man. Yeah, these are, I'm a little nervous because I don't want anybody to take my picks. So I'm trying to decide which.
My
route to
holiday
go
board
first.
is so thin. Like if I
My holiday
lose
board's
one-
pretty thin.
yeah, it's tough.
There
So
was
let's
really
clarify: are we doing characters or the
Characters.
Yeah.
the whole package of the actor
No.
too?
The character.
No, the
Actor
characters.
plus character.
Yeah.
Character. All right. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm going Scott Calvin, number 1 overall
Okay.
pick in Christmas. Obviously Santa Claus. Ad executive, marketing, merchandising also becomes the big guy, so that doesn't hurt you one bit. Scott Calvin, boys. He's off the
That's
board.
a great pick. It had to be the number 1 pick in holiday.
Yeah, that was.
I had a couple of others that, I think they might fly under the radar. So maybe not. We'll see.
I didn't know he was an ad executive. Good note by you on that.
Yeah, ad executive before he becomes Santa Claus. So he understands that side of it. Advertising, marketing.
All right.
And then, of course, merchandising.
Right. That's huge. Carlton, over to you. First holiday pick.
Oh man, I think just because of the overall fun and joy and merriment he brings, I'm just gonna go with Buddy the Elf.
Wow.
I think he would
love
just bring
Buddy.
a lot to our board. So
I will say
I
that gives you points for in-game experience right there.
yeah, that was what I was going for.
Yep.
It's just who's gonna pump everyone up, buddy.
Buddy known for pumping people up. Also like Christmas
right.
cheer,
Yeah.
the arrow. That's a good pick. Okay, good. I took this probably too seriously. So I still went with,
what, Adam? You taking something too serious? What?
I still went with like their abilities here. So number one pick for me, I'm going. I actually don't remember his character name, but I'm going Vince Vaughn's character in Four Christmases.
Dude, I had him on my list too.
Lawyer stuff. We need to be covered
Yeah.
legally from all different angles. Guy clearly is a hustler. I mean, that penthouse doesn't pay for itself. So he makes money. Funny. I gotta like the board. That's a big thing for me. I gotta like who I'm working with. So far, I think we cover that. So yeah, Vince Vaughn for Christmas is my next pick. And then I guess I have to do two. All right. Yeah, he kind of covers that. I'm going to go spoiler here. Everyone has the obvious characters from this movie, but I'm actually going Mrs. McAllister, not Mr. McAllister or Kevin. I'm going Mrs. McAllister. A lot of intangibles to add to our board, including motivation. Like if she gets something in her head, she's going to move heaven and earth to go find her son, who she loses all the time. Also, low key, very rich and successful on her own. All the meme is like, what did Kevin's dad do to buy this house? She was a fashion designer, and in the movie, you remember all her props are moving around the dance floor and stuff like that. How do we know she wasn't the breadwinner? That's sexism at its finest right there.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So she'll be in charge of uniform design, all that sort of thing for us. So Mrs. McAllister.
Don't you have two?
I did. Vince Vaughn.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Legal.
Yeah. I just that's me trying to delay going
Coming
again.
to sue your cheeks.
Yeah. So I'm having a hard time with this one, but I think I'm just gonna do it. There's a lot on the line here, but I'm going way back. I'm going way back to Scrooge. Scrooge is gonna be on my board. I feel like he could just bring, just that perspective of past, present, future, and just.
I mean,
he's got. I
had him on my board.
Did you really?
You just went deep. Super underrated businessman post conversion.
Yeah.
Big team guy.
And now he's got the Joy Christmas.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If you get Ebb, you probably get Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim. Big for morale.
I was gonna say Tiny Tim. We could just make him.
Oh man, I can't believe you took that off my board.
Wow,
that was
a
big
deep cut.
That was super deep.
I can't believe you both.
Thankfully, I have two left. Thankfully, I have two left on my board. I only have two left on my board, but it closes my whole team out.
That's good. All right.
So,
all right, we'll give it.
Yeah, you're probably gonna take my other one.
Probably. All right, so these are my last two, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going John McClane, Die Hard. NYPD police detective, big time security guy.
True.
Super family man as well.
Unkillable.
Unkillable.
Yeah.
You need security. Yeah. I mean, you need security. So these are the type of people that you want involved. So obviously the movie takes place in LA. He's from New York, so he's got those two big cities on lockdown.
He could help also ensure ventilation for the whole stadium,
So true.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, so and then my last pick, I'm going Clark Griswold. Christmas Vacation. Could be a huge asset in concessions / food service. He works in the food preservation industry and all that kind of stuff. So Clark Griswold, I think, would be a big asset. Fun fact: one of the storylines of Christmas Vacation is that Clark is planning on building a pool with his Christmas bonus. we don't know how much the Christmas bonus was, but we know that it was presumably enough to build a pool.
Right.
Adjusted for inflation, the pool would have been in the 11,000 range back in 1989. Okay.
Right.
And here's the thing: generally 2%, something like that. That bonus of $166.85 is what is the estimation. He'd have been making about $580K, boys.
Whoa! Wouldn't have guessed that from Clark.
So I mean, kind of
that's math right there.
I'm not sure. Right. He might not be a great money manager if he was that tight.
Right.
Making $580K, but and just a little inflation fact that would adjust to about 1.1 million today. So,
but thankfully,
he was making big cash.
With Sailor, you don't really have to worry about it. Like, there's a
I'm not
whole
worried
thing
about
there.
that.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about inflation. I like that.
But morale, the guy gets it on food preservation, which is kind of a big deal, for a stadium. So
huge sports guy,
huge family guy, huge sports guy. Loves the Bears, loves the Cubs.
Win.
Chicago guy, Clark Griswold, man.
I'm actually surprised he didn't come. I thought he was going to be your first holiday pick.
Honestly, that was what I was thinking. I was trying to figure out Scott Calvin, Clark Griswold, or Scrooge.
Okay.
Number one overall, because I was, I really wanted Scrooge, man. The guy gets it. You think about how angry he was, but we're talking post-conversion Scrooge. The guy was a banker. The guy gets it, man.
I agree. Huge Scrooge pod. I actually, to be fair, I don't agree. I think Scrooge tanks the whole thing. I mean, I think he brings down the.
He's outdated. He's got I know.
I think he just brings down the vibe, But he is post conversion. I get it. So
maybe it's post conversion Scrooge.
Right. Okay.
It's like bouncing around the streets, giving money to everybody. I think I was on his A game.
That's right. All right.
So yeah, I've had a few mine taken already. So I think I'm just gonna go with the obvious one, right? We Kevin, it is.
Kevin
McAllister, Macaulay Culkin. We're just gonna go for some childlike innovation, some creativity. What they say about innovation and creativity. So you lose a lot of it as you get older. So we're gonna have a child on our board.
Interesting choice. I mean, I think you're taking shots at my board, trying to get the son. Maybe maybe Mrs. McAllister gets off her game, but I think she sends him to the attic and it's no problem. So it's a good, good try there. But yeah, Kevin, that's a good. I mean, if you need, again, Carlton went heavy with the in-game entertainment, like Kevin escaping from people or something at halftime.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, my final pick. Could go a bunch of ways here. I'll just say I think we should say a few of these after maybe, but I'll say it's between the guy who I'm not going to pick is Nick Cage from The Family Man. Thought about picking him, but Vince Vaughn sort of filled that role. He was the backup there. Wall Street executive, obviously knows how to make some bucks. Willing to sacrifice his family for the cause. That's what we're looking for on Adam team. And not going to go with him though. I am going to go with Jimmy Stewart. It's a Wonderful Life. I think we're getting off the ground, startup phase. We need the community to be in on our team.
Yeah, I like that.
Jimmy doing some community organization, and then to help Cody on the real estate side in terms of loans, etc. That's kind of his expertise. So Jimmy Stewart rounds out my what is this 7 board. So yeah,
that was going to be my pick last round. I should have gone with it. I just figured I had too much old time with Scrooge already.
Yeah, you went.
Pick.
I feel like yours has the most extremes between the two. Like you have. Well, let me recap them real quick. So we got, and remember, vote, or we'll put a link in the episode as to where you can vote. Derek's board includes Derek, Michael Saylor, Balaji Srinivasan, Dave Portnoy, Bobby Flay, Scott Calvin, John McClain, and Clark So that's Derek's. Any takeaways or recap, Derek, as to why folks should vote for you with that board.
I think it's obvious. I mean, it's the winner. Let's face it, boys.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's I think there's a little bit of duplication, but I think for the most part it's pretty balanced. Yeah, strong board. Carlton, we've got Naval, Sam Parr, Stephen Dubner, aka Stephen Duckworth, Shaquille O'Neal, Buddy the Elf, Scrooge, last name redacted. Do we know Scrooge's name? Scrooge.
I don't know.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Ebenezer, Scrooge is his last name. Ebenezer Scrooge. Yeah. and Kevin McAllister. I think we can say without a doubt that is the weakest board.
Like I said, the underdog thing. I'm coming in as the underdog, but I'm also going to come in and stay the underdog as a board too. But here's my thing: you can have all the business people you want, but once you get too many egos in the room, then creativity goes out the window.
I do think
so. What I want to do is just have a healthy balance of ego, entertainment, and exploration, so that we get the innovation, the creativity, and bring it all together in a nice, clean, fun package that's wholesome for the whole family.
Well done. I like that. And the in-game experience would be off the chain, buddy.
And the plus is that nobody on my board is canceled, unlike some of you guys.
That's true, but you tried to draft Dave. It just didn't work out.
And he's not canceled. He just refused to be canceled.
This is true.
He's canceled.
That's super important in today's world. You just refuse to be canceled. Like, nope, I'm not canceled. Okay,
I reject that.
I'm a little surprised that Trump wasn't on here because he was in.
He has no podcast.
Trump's movie, but he doesn't have. Does he?
He's a movie character though.
Oh, I mean, he could have been on Derek's board because
you could have gone movie character in Home Alone too.
Yeah,
Home Alone Trump,
New York.
All right, mine is my board. David Sachs, All In, Call In, sorry, and All In podcast. JJ Redick, Gary V, Cody Sanchez, Vince Vaughn from Four Christmases, Mrs. McAllister, and Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, I don't really have.
It's pretty good.
I don't have a.
It's a strong board,
but
it's pretty good. I think the Mrs. McAllister one was probably the, just.
It was a sleeper,
one diverse
sleeper
pick.
That,
yeah,
nobody
was
good.
Good.
Saw that one coming.
One of the picks that I was thinking about, she was on my list. Amanda Woods from The Holiday, Cameron Diaz character.
Oh yeah,
movie maker, Hollywood. I think she could have been kind of huge for the board. Just ran out of picks.
It's tough. You only have so many board seats to give out, so it's a tough decision to make. But yeah, this was fun. Carlton, what way practically should we do it? Just Twitter poll or something?
Twitter poll probably makes the most sense, and then just tag all these people.
Okay.
And
yeah, I'm sure they'll
make their case.
Yeah. Well,
hey Namal, I know you're not doing anything else right now.
Make your case for
why you should be on why you'll be great with Kevin.
The problem is if Naval makes his case, then everybody will agree with him.
That's true.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, that's it.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right. Well, we will hopefully you all enjoyed this. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. We will, as we said, post a link that you can vote in the show notes below. And if you guys like this, maybe we'll do something else around Christmas time, just to have fun with it. But otherwise, happy Thanksgiving, boys. Thanks for doing this.